whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. 2 Peter 3, 6-7. The world that then was, drowned in water, is nothing other than your own life as you accept it, its sorrows, its limits, its unalterable facts. You have bowed before those facts, made them real, and in so doing flooded your world until the old self perished. That flood was the delusion of flesh, the acceptance of a reality outside imagination, outside God himself. But behold, by the same word, your own creative imagination, both heaven and earth, are preserved. You hold them in store, untouched by that watery deluge, until the day of judgment. That day is not a distant calendar date, but a moment in your consciousness when the fire of your awakened imagination burns away every ungodly thought. This fire is the living word, kindled within you, until every impossible circumstance melts like wax before the flame of your faith. Do not cast blame on this or that external world. The great flood was never outside you, and neither is the fire. The Scripture speaks to the real man, your immortal imagination, calling you to judge yourself inwardly. All that seemed to drown you can be reborn by a single spark of faith, the conviction that what you imagine within is substance rising to meet your desire. So learn to walk on water, remove the stone of accepted facts, draw forth the living water of your inner word, then pour it into any shape you will. Health, harmony, provision, love. It will solidify in your world as wine transforming the literal into the mystical. Reserve nothing for the world of the flesh. Store your treasures in that hidden realm where heaven and earth converge, the kingdom within. There, kept by your divine imagination, all things await the fire of your decree when you say, "Let there be," and it is so. 2 Peter's world overflowed with water portrays a dissolved state of consciousness, when our old self-image and limiting beliefs surge unchecked and overwhelm us. Heavens and earth, kept in store by the same word, names our present state of mind, held in creative balance by the inner word, your imagination. The day of judgment, ungodly men, is simply the moment self-limiting thoughts collapse under the power of your own revising imagination. At the heart of this teaching lies the understanding that floods of water stand as a beautiful symbol for the raw, formless substance of thought and feeling, our imagination in its purest state. From there, the power of the word, a mental declaration or the vivid scene you hold in your mind, serves to contain and shape this mind stuff, much as water is gathered and stored in earthen jars. Once this inner reservoir is secured, the fire of focused attention and heartfelt emotion ignites its latent power, setting in motion the alchemy of transformation. In practical terms, you begin by envisioning the reality you desire, filling those mental vessels with living water. You then breathe life into that vision by speaking it aloud or by feeling it deeply, drawing from your mind's water what has already become wine. Finally, by sustaining unwavering attention and emotion, you fan that sacred flame until your imagined vision externalizes and becomes your unfolding reality. This verse unveils our true divine power. You are God in your own imagination. Your consciousness is both the flood and the ark. You can drown a negative self-story by flooding it with a new mental scene, and you can keep your new world ready for fire, the sacred energy of focused belief that brings that scene into physicality. Nothing in your life need remain fixed. All can be revised by your own creative imagination. Begin by gently noticing any upsetting fact that appears as a closed well, a barrier that seems immovable. Calm the mind and conjure a private scene whose fulfillment already implies your desire realized. See the well filling with clear, pure water. Embrace this vision as tangible and real. This is the word coming to life within you, and feel warmth and confidence naturally rising in the heart. Return to that inner tableau day after day, tending the feeling of conviction like a sacred flame, and watch how the imagined begins to externalize itself. By rolling away the stone of so-called reality and pouring the living water of imagination into a new mold, you step forth as though walking on water, reordering circumstances by the sheer power of your divinity. In this inner craft, the true message of Scripture unfolds. Do not fear an old world drowning in its own destruction, but call forth a new one by the majestic force of your own divine imagination.